Hey guys, this is Pearlmam. I make amateurs out of noobs, and today I'm in my AT7. This tank is a pretty cool little TD. It's a tier 7 British TD. It's got hella front armor, 250 front armor, and so generally you can block a lot of shots. But there is a glaring weakness in the frontal armor, and that's this turret, the cupola up here. Close up, anybody can really hit it and pen it. It's got like 100 armor, I think, so pretty much anything could hit it. But far away, generally, people can't aim at that with their reticle being open. And the gun is pretty good, actually. I really like the gun. It's a 226 pen, and it's got 230 damage. The alpha damage isn't really that good, but the rate of fire is really fast, so you get a pretty good damage per minute. So I had a pretty good game here. Here I am in Highway as a top tier, and I have a really good game here. I do a couple things well. I go to the city in this one, and this is a good tank for a city, relatively, because it's good frontal armor. As long as nobody can flank you, and cities can provide that cover for you from the sides. And so I do really well in being the second line of offense. Usually these TDs aren't the front line. They're usually the second line, because the front line can get flanked, but the second line generally shows their frontal armor, and if that front line gets flanked, you can cover them pretty well. And another thing I do well is when to let a teammate die. And so I see a guy dying, and it's a slow death, and I choose to let him die, because in order to save him, I would have to die myself. So that's one thing. So here I am, I'm going to the city. Generally, if you look on the mini-map, heavies should go to the city because of corridors and frontal armor. You know, generally those narrow corridors only allow frontal armor shots, and so you can block armor, you can block shots with your armor if you're a heavy, and you can penetrate the frontal armor if you're a heavy. And generally mediums kind of go up here, and some TDs can cover them from here and cover the fields from over here. And sometimes this area is really dangerous, but if you can get a spotter in there early, you can help spot up here and really wreck this northern side. But anyway, I'm going to talk about today how to do the city in a TD. So there's a good amount of us here. We have 4 of us going in. The T-20 is already there spotting, and nobody's there. And once again, I'm not going to push too far. I need to be the second line. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of hang back and let the other guys push forward. So let's see what I come into here. So there I spot a T-25 AT, and he makes a mistake. And that was a bad shot. I missed that shot, trying to lead him. But he makes a mistake. He pushes too far forward and allows his side. And another side note, which I'm going to pause it right here. This is a really good weak spot for the T-25, that upper left-hand side. That is a weak spot for the T-25. So that's kind of nice. So I have a perfect shot on him. He's tracked, and I can shoot that. But you see how he pushed up, and he wanted to show his frontal armor and charge that side, but I had the flank. And so he showed his side, and now he pays for it. He's pretty much the same tank as me. So, and I'm just going to keep doing the damage on him. And I don't move. There's no pop in, pop out with an armor like this. You just face the enemy and aim your shots. This little guy, there's no way he can penetrate, even my side. So, you know, just finish him off. So here I start to push forward because I have no shots, and we know where the enemies are. My flank, if you look on the mini-map, is being watched by the T-20, so I can kind of push forward and see what's going on here. Now I don't want to go too far forward because now they can flank around this corner, but they're not at the moment because they're afraid of like some TD back here on the mini-map. So I'm just going to hang out back here. I'm not going to push forward, coming around corners. So I try to shoot through that car. But this tank isn't good for pop in, pop out. You just want to hang back and show your frontal armor and shoot. Let them shoot at you. try to minimize that, but you want to make sure that your frontal armor's there, and just show that frontal armor and just shoot. So here's where I let him die. Now, there's nothing really I can do to save him. Even if I was a heavy or some other tank, I don't even know what I could do. Maybe I would drive up and try to like get in front of this VK and push through and let them fire on me with my HP pool being a lot higher than 3, like he has. So that's probably what I would do if I was in a heavy. But I can't really do that because I can't maneuver that well, and I would allow myself to get flanked around this corner, which somebody is going to come around there eventually. So I just back up and make sure I'm the second line. So when they flank him and start killing him, I get damage on them, and they can only shoot at my front. So I'm just waiting. I don't know what to do, because if I can't move forward because that AT7's there. So he doesn't have the best gun, and he's having a hard time penning me. And so I aim for that cupola, and I'll pen that all day. Anybody can pen that. So I just keep doing it. That VK, the heavy tank, is dead, and now he's coming in trying to flank me, but I catch him. So that's basically what I did. I was kind of focused on that AT7, and I kind of forgot about my side there, but I was far enough away where I had enough time if they pushed forward to come and get me. As you can see, like, I saw him and I casually turned my turret and shot him. So here's more guys coming in, and I'm here. So I do some damage, and nobody can pen me. These guys are, what, tier 6, tier 7, and 6. So at this point, we're doing pretty well. We're probably going to win, but I push forward. And here's a really nice little moving shot. I'm moving. Can only see a little bit and get a lucky little hit there. So I have a rule when it comes to this game, and whenever somebody's attacking your cap, always defend. Now that's true 95% of the time, 90% of the time. And right now we do have a lot of tanks back there. If you look on the mini-map, there's a lot of guys over there, but if he just managed to kill them for whatever reason, I didn't know their HP pool because they were out of my radio range, and so something could have happened, and then he would have capped it out and won. So that's why I always defend it. And anyway, the game's over, and I just drive to cap, and everybody finishes him off. So the sum up is pretty good. I did 2,500 damage, killed 4 tanks, and I got 1135 EXP. That's pretty damn good. Cool-headed because I blocked a lot of shots, high caliber, steel wall, because I just blocked a lot of damage. Yeah, and that is pretty good for a tier 7 in a match like this. So yeah, it was a pretty good game, and that's kind of how to play a tank like this. You're the second line, never the first line. Although I was really close to that front line of offense, and so you might even say I was on the front line, but I was just behind. And so that's all you really need to do. You need enough time. You need to be able to hanging back on that second line allows you to show your frontal armor, and it allows you time to react to a flanking opportunity. And that's basically what you need to do. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.